As the conversation continued, what started as debate turned into confrontation. Joy Behar, never one to back down, leaned in harder. Chevy Chase, equally unwilling to retreat, matched her energy beat for beat. Joy Behar. Let's be honest, Chevy, some of your past comments wouldn't fly today. Isn't that a sign that society is evolving? Chevy let out a short laugh. Chevy Chase. Or a sign that society's afraid to laugh at itself. The audience murmured. Whoopi attempted to step in. Whoopi Goldberg. All right, let's keep it respectful. But Joy wasn't finished. Joy Behar. Respect goes both ways. When jokes punch down, they stop being jokes. Chevy's jaw tightened. Chevy Chase. Who decides what down is? You? That line hit like a match to gasoline. Joy's smile vanished. Joy Behar. I decide when people are being harmed. And so do viewers. Chevy shook his head slowly. Chevy Chase. No, Joy, you decide when you're offended. And you project it onto everyone else. The audience gasped loudly this time. Sonny Hostin tried to interject. Sonny Hostin. Chevy, that's unfair. Chevy Chase. No, what's unfair is rewriting comedy history because feelings change. Joy slammed her cards onto the table. Joy Behar. So your legacy matters more than accountability. That word, accountability, hung in the air. Chevy stood up slightly from his chair. Chevy Chase. My legacy is laughter, and I won't apologize for making people laugh. The producer's voice crackled faintly through an earpiece backstage. This was going off script, fast. Joy crossed her arms. Joy Behar. Then maybe you don't belong on platforms like this anymore. Silence. Chevy looked around the table. At the audience, at the cameras. Chevy Chase. Then why invite me? Applause erupted, mixed with boos. The tension was now uncontrollable. Joy Behar. We invite guests willing to have grown-up conversations. Chevy grabbed the back of his chair. Chevy Chase. I came for a conversation, not a lecture. The hosts froze. Producers held their breath. And then, Chevy stood up completely. Chevy Chase. I'm done. The audience exploded. Joy looked stunned but defiant. Joy Behar. That's your choice. Chevy adjusted his jacket, leaned toward the microphone one last time. Chevy Chase. Exactly. It was supposed to be just another headline-making morning on The View. The studio lights were bright. The audience was buzzing and the hosts were smiling, at least on the surface. But no one knew that within minutes. The atmosphere would shift from polite conversation to one of the most explosive moments daytime television had ever seen. Chevy Chase, legendary comedian and Hollywood icon, walked onto the stage to a mixed reaction. Loud applause layered with whispers of curiosity. Known for his sharp wit and unapologetic humor, Chevy took his seat at the table with a casual nod, already scanning the room as if anticipating resistance. Joy Behar leaned forward, cards in hand, her signature smile masking what some would later call a loaded agenda. Joy Behar. Chevy, you've been a major figure in comedy for decades, but comedy has changed. Some say your style hasn't. The audience chuckled nervously. Chevy Chase. Well, Joy, comedy didn't change. People just stopped laughing as easily. A few gasps, a few claps. Whoopi Goldberg raised an eyebrow. Sonny Hostin glanced down at her notes. Alyssa Farrah Griffin shifted uncomfortably. The tension had entered the room quietly, but unmistakably. Joy pressed on. Joy Behar. Some critics say your jokes cross lines, especially in today's cultural climate. Do you think comedians should be more responsible now? Chevy leaned back, folded his arms, and smirked. Chevy Chase. I think comedy's job is to cross lines. Otherwise, it's just greeting cards. The audience reaction split right down the middle. Joy laughed, but it wasn't warm. Joy Behar. That's easy to say when you're not the one being hurt. That was the moment. The temperature changed. Chevy's smile faded. Chevy Chase. Hurt or offended? Those are two very different things. The cameras zoomed in. Producers exchanged glances behind the scenes. This wasn't light banter anymore. This was a collision of generations, ideologies and egos. Joy straightened in her chair. Joy Behar. So you don't care who your jokes affect? Chevy leaned forward now, eyes sharp. Chevy Chase. I care about honesty. And sometimes honesty makes people uncomfortable. The studio went silent. The host tried to redirect the conversation, but the energy was already spiraling. The audience sensed it. Social media would later explode over these first 5 minutes alone. And this was only the beginning. As Chevy Chase walked off the set, the cameras struggled to keep up. Producers scrambled. The audience was on its feet, some cheering, some shouting, all in shock. Joy Behar stared straight ahead, lips pressed tight. Whoopi broke the silence. Whoopi Goldberg. Well, that just happened. The show cut to commercial earlier than planned. Behind the scenes, chaos reigned. Chevy didn't stop. He didn't look back. A producer attempted to speak to him off camera, but Chevy waved him off. Chevy Chase. I'm not doing performative outrage. Within minutes, clips of the confrontation flooded social media. Hashtags exploded. Chevy Chase walk off. Team Joy. Comedy's culture. Opinions were violently divided. Some praised Chevy for standing his ground in a culture they felt had become too sensitive. Others accused him of arrogance, claiming he refused to evolve. Joy Behar, meanwhile, addressed the moment after the break. Joy Behar. We welcome different opinions here, but respect is non-negotiable. The audience applauded, hesitantly. Later that evening, Chevy released a brief statement. Comedy is meant to challenge, not conform. I won't apologize for being honest. Joy followed with her own response on social media. Growth requires listening, not storming off. Entertainment outlets called it one of The View's most intense moments in years. Experts debated it on panels. Comedians weighed in. Fans argued in comment sections late into the night. But beyond the headlines, one question lingered. Was this a clash of egos? Or a clash of eras? Chevy Chase represented a time when comedy pushed without filters. Joy Behar represented a time when words carry new weight. Neither backed down. And maybe that's why the moment mattered. Because sometimes, when two worlds collide under studio lights, the truth isn't comfortable. It's loud, it's messy, and it walks off the stage.